The Syrian Fact-Finding Committee on the Coastal Events has held a press conference revealing their investigation outcomes. The delay in announcing results was due to the severity of sudden incidents. The committee submitted its report to the president on time after reviewing 23 official briefings and collecting 930 witness testimonies. They documented over 480 cases of homes and shops burned, visited 33 sites including violation locations and cemeteries, and recorded 1,426 deaths, including more than 230 security personnel. The committee identified 265 suspected former regime members involved, recommended governance reforms for security forces, urged prosecution of fugitives, and called for measures to prevent sectarian incitement. The investigation phase is now complete. Hundreds of Bedouin civilians were evacuated from Syria's Druze majority city of Swayda under a U.S.-brokered truce after days of deadly sectarian violence that killed hundreds and displaced thousands. Families, including women and children, were relocated to a school in Daraa, with more evacuations planned if calm persists. Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara blamed outlaw groups for the bloodshed and pledged to protect Druze rights and ensure accountability. Soldiers and emergency teams have inspected the aftermath of a Bangladesh Air Force jet crash at a Dhaka school campus. The F-7 BGI aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff during a routine training mission, killing more than 30 people, including the pilot, and injuring more than 80, mostly children. Authorities cited mechanical failure as the cause and launched an investigation. The injured were hospitalized, with rescue efforts ongoing amid wreckage and fires. This strategy follows a recent deadly Air India crash in India, marking one of the worst aviation disasters in a decade, highlighting regional aviation safety concerns. Egypt has expressed heartfelt condolences to Bangladesh over the tragic crash of a Bangladeshi Air Force training plane that struck a school in Dhaka, killing more than 30 people, mostly students. In a statement, the Egyptian Foreign Ministry conveyed solidarity with the Bangladeshi people, offering sincere sympathies to the victims' families and wishing a swift recovery for the injured. This comes as rescue teams worked tirelessly to save survivors amid the wreckage and fires, with many critically wounded. Egypt stands with Bangladesh in this difficult time, mourning the loss and supporting efforts to aid those affected by this devastating accident. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has announced that the next round of peace talks with Russia is scheduled for July the 23rd in Turkey. Quoting the head of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, Zelenskyy also mentioned ongoing preparations for a detainee exchange. Rustem Amirov, who is now the Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, headed the first two rounds of talks with Russia. He confirmed the meeting plans during Zelenskyy's nightly address, promising further details soon. The Kremlin has stated that no miracles should be expected from a proposed third round of direct peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, offering no timeline for a potential conflict-ending agreement. This comes as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy announced Kyiv's proposal for talks in Turkey this week, aiming to accelerate ceasefire negotiations. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov expressed skepticism about breakthroughs, emphasizing Russia's commitment to its goals. He declined to provide any time frame for a peace deal, noting significant work remains before high-level meetings can occur. Zelenskyy continues to seek a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin to advance negotiations. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has announced that Germany is negotiating with the U.S. for replacement Patriot missile systems, as existing units are set to be transferred to Ukraine. While the U.S. has generally agreed to supply new Patriots to Germany and the EU, these replacements have not yet been secured. Merz emphasized that Germany will deliver its systems to Ukraine once replacements are confirmed. The Norwegian Prime Minister stated that his country is prepared to share the costs once the procurement is finalized. The U.S. Army has released footage of live grenades being dropped from a drone during a training exercise in Germany, marking the first for conventional forces. The video, filmed at a training area in late June, shows soldiers attaching grenades to unmanned drones and conducting test flights. The Army says that it's the first time its conventional units have used a drone to drop live grenades. The device uses an audible dropper that pulls the pin mid-flight before releasing the grenade over a target. The United States is withdrawing from UNESCO as President Donald Trump moves to pull back from key international institutions, echoing steps taken during his first term. Two European diplomats confirmed the U.S. decision to leave the Paris-based agency, which promotes global cooperation in education, science, and culture. The move follows Trump's wider review of U.S. involvement in UN bodies, which has already seen Washington withdraw from the WHO and freeze funding to UNRWA. Former U.S. President Joe Biden has previously rejoined these institutions, but Trump is once again reversing course with a final review due by August.